Well, hi. Hi, babies. Hi, cutie patooties. Hi, sugar butts. Hi, pumpkin nuts. Hi. How you doing? How's it going? Hey. This is a general message, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Please use your own discernment and intuition. These messages are timeless. So whenever you find it, it is the right time. Also, it could be past, present, future energy, so take it how it resonates. Yeah, let's get into it. Yes, babies, yes. All right, so the song I got on shuffle is White House Road by Tyler Childers. This is one of my favorites by him. It's just fun. All right, let's see. Early in the morning when the sun does rise, laying in the bed with bloodshot eyes, late in the evening when the sun sinks low, that's about the time my rooster crows. I've got women up and down this creek, they keep me going and my engine clean, run me ragged but I don't fret, 'cause there ain't been one slow me down just yet. Get me drinking that moonshine, get me higher than the grocery bill, take my troubles to the high wall, throw 'em in the river and get your fill. We've been sniffing that cocaine, ain't nothing better when the wind cuts cold. Lord, it's a mighty hard living, but a damn good feeling to run these roads. Oh shit. Okay, damn, all right. So I was like shuffling before I came on, and this card, the Four of Swords in reverse, fell out, and I was like, whatever, you know, like I want to shuffle on camera, so like I'm not gonna pay any attention to that. And here it is. So yes. Lord, it's a mighty hard living, but a damn good feeling to run these roads. Interesting. I got people try to tell me, Red, keep this living and you wind up dead. Cast your troubles on the Lord of Lords, wind up laying on the cooling board. But I got buddies up on White House Road. They keep me strutting when my feet hang low. Rot gut whiskey gonna ease my pain, and all this running is gonna keep me sane. I was feeling before I came on like that cowboy energy of like that, you know, this is how I associate cowboys and all of that. So you could have your own opinion, but I associate like cowboys with like, you know, that a small percentage of people that still live to a moral code that's like an ancient moral code, if you will. Like I associate them with that, and like they don't let others control them, they're free. So I associate with like being a cowboy as free. And that like you're willing, the drifting part of it, you're like, you know, I can't be controlled by my surroundings. Like it's like this like willing, you know, because like a cowboy is considered like, they'll be like, oh, they're gonna ride off into the sunset kind of thing. Like their willingness to shift into different environments, their resiliency, like, you know, toughing it through all of, you know, life's hardships. You know, their cattle die, or they have to move, you know, if they're rodeo cowboys, you know, they have to go follow the circuit, you know, they have to go drift, they have to go be somewhere, they have to, there's always movement, but they stick to a code of like that can't be swayed, you know, like the government can't, you know, control the family, their family because, you know, it's like, mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Like, their family can't control them. They just can't be controlled. They're sovereign. They're independent. They're free. You know, that's the best word I can think of, is like free. That feeling of like being a cowboy. And, you know, they're known for being wild and, okay, oh man, bear with me, I'm gonna go grab this book because I'm being called to go grab it, damn it. Sorry, guys. Bye, I'll be back. I'm being called to read it's just going all over the place. I had like, you know, I thought it was going somewhere else, but here we are. So maybe this is like an energy that you need to step more into, like your cowboy energy. Because I got called to get my cowboy, the Coyote Cowboy poetry. Cowboy poetry by Baxter Black. He's a funny dude. Yeah, so like that freedom, you're being called to step into that. You have that within you. You have that, I'm just hearing like that cowboy code. Like, it's not, you know, what rules we have as society. It's its own ancient, like, oh my goodness, I can't think of the word I want to use. It's like not ancient, but just like old, unshakable code. You know, like society shifts and like it's only acceptable to like act a certain way, dress a certain way, but cowboys still have always like had this certain style to themselves, you know, and it's not like shifted, but you know, and that whole like not dynamic, but like someone's like having a hard time getting out of their parking spot out there. Man, I can't describe it. It's a feeling, but I can't describe it. Maybe that's just what it is, that cowboy feeling, that freedom, that you can't quite, you can say words about it, but you can't describe that ancient code. You know, it's like these cowboys have always, you know, they don't let society or the shifting times, shifting like fashion, what's in fashion, what's popular, they haven't let that shift them, you know, shake them and pull them away from what they are, what they stand for. You know, like if you meet a real cowboy, like a real rancher, you know, they have just this ancient moral code to them that, you know, you treat people with respect, you be respectful to others, you talk, you have manners, you know. Yeah, they're still gonna you know, use a handkerchief to blow their nose and put it back in their pocket, and you're like, oh, okay, you know, you do that. You know, or, you know, they still do rancher shit, like the rancher knows, you know, the rancher Kleenex, you know, where you just snot rocket out in the field. So they still do that, but there's those manners, that respect, that working hard, like taking pride in your work, that type of stuff. Like, we're being called to do that. Another song that's coming to me, Fighting Side of Me by Merle Haggard. I hear people talking bad about the way we have to live here in this country, harping on the wars we fight, on the griping about the way things ought to be. And I don't mind them switching sides and standing up for things they believe in. When they're running down my country, man, they're walking on the fighting side of me. And that's like what you're being called to do. You're like, I don't care what, if you switch sides, what you know, whatever, stand up for what you believe in, absolutely, but don't be dragging down, you know, I'm seeing it kind of like as society, like, don't be dragging down and, you know, putting this negativity on society, on this possibility of where we're headed, saying like, oh, we're all going to hell, you know, this country's going to hell, you know, all this stuff. Uh, Keeping that like cowboy energy, like, you know, a cowboy, they're gonna get the job done because they have to, right? You know, if you gotta move cattle and it's fucking snowing out, you know, -0, -0, -20 Fahrenheit, and, you know, the wind's blowing and it's that frozen hard snow and it just hurts, but you still gotta move cattle that day. You have to. So it's happening. And they're still gonna do it. They're just gonna go put their duster on and cover up their face and just go do the work and be like, yeah, this fucking sucks. I'll take a couple hot coffee breaks, but we gotta get this done. And that's what you're being asked to do, is push through these shitty times. Yeah, you're seeing like society go through crazy shit. There's these cleansing storms that are happening that, you know, the media is using to stir up fear and all of this stuff, and, you know, basically juice it up even more. And we're being asked to still do the work through this. We're asking to be cowboys through this. With now I'm seeing with this Four of Swords, I see I was like laying down. It's time to get out of bed, time to get up and still do the work, even though this shit sucks. It's crazy times. Things are going chaotic. This is how we show up. You know, we got to step into that cowboy energy and hold that ancient, man, I cannot, like, I keep wanting to say like vintage, antique, like this old way of being still. Like, yes, we're still shifting in as society, as we rise in vibration and all of that, but there's still that need to hold true on the path even during the worst storms, because the work needs to be done. We still have to do the work. And so we're being asked to step into this energy of standing up for what we believe in, standing true in that, even through the worst shit. You know, you're being ostracized, isolated. The cowboy's fine with that. The cowboy is completely okay with that. And I guess I'm just using this archetype, the cowboy archetype. Like, the cowboy is fine with that. The cowboy will gladly ride off by themselves. And, you know, I'm getting an image of a cowboy, you know, as the sun's setting, up on the hill on their horse alone, you know, looking down at, you know, the city they were kicked out of, their little town that they were kicked out of. They're looking down at it. So that, you know, it's like, fine, I will stay true to my path. You can't sway me. You can't make me change. You know, you can't make me take my revolver off my hip. You can't make me, I'm seeing that as like dropping your energetic shield. Like, you can't make me drop that. You can't sway me. You can't manipulate me into being something that I'm not, just because you want to control me and you want me to fit into this box. The cowboy will gladly leave, ride off into the next town. They're not held down. And you're being asked to not be held down. And even if that, you're meant to, oh man, I hope this is making sense. It's like coming at me like really fast. So you're being asked to hold true to your values, those ancient values, the staying strong, fighting through, you know, still doing the work through the worst weather, through the worst storms. It sucks. It's hot out. It's beaming down on your neck. You know, your horse is acting up. So you're also being asked to have patience with the tools and the people that you're working with. Also, still pushing through and staying true on the path. You're asking to do all this stuff, but also not be held down and to like, you know, your town I'm seeing as like the people around you, or like say you've been friends with this person forever and you're really just raising in vibration and you're noticing that they're not doing the work. They're not you know, they're clinging to you, they're weighing you down and asking you to be something you're not, or you're having to, you know, manipulate your energy to appease them, or have, you know, you can't talk about certain things, you know, stuff like that. It's all like you're having to shapeshift for them, or, you know, change your morals or yourself and speak in a different way with them because they're not doing the work, and so their ego gets triggered and it's uncomfortable. And you're noticing there's like this distance now of like, oh, and you know, they're like the townspeople kicking you out, like, get out of here, outlaw, get out of here. We don't like your kind around here. Like there's that starting, like you're either being asked to, well, you can't hold your revolver on your hip anymore if you're going to live in this town. And so, you know, and I'm using that as like a metaphor of like, you know, the people that around you. Yes, you've been friends with them, they're your family, whatever, you've known them your entire life, but as you're changing and shifting and holding strong to that moral code, that cowboy code, you have to, you know, pick a side. Do I get shifted and changed, and, you know, not live my truth and walk away from my code? Or do I follow my code and have to ride off into the sunset alone? Have to, you know, let them ostracize me? And you're being asked to pick a side. And I'm getting from this is like, this is, you know, a especially because we have the 10 of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. You're being asked to walk away from things that don't make you happy. And that could be family, especially because that's the 10 of Cups is the family card. You can see all the family walking there, right there. Oh shit. And the Queen of Cups in reverse. So these people that are emotionally manipulative, try to get you to change who you are, sway against, you know, pull you away from your morals. You know, I'm seeing that as like the girl that tries to keep the cowboy from, you know, riding to the next town, like doing anything and everything to get him to stay. And that manipulation, that I'll do whatever, but it's not healthy. It's because I'm seeing that as like people like seeing how cool you are, how like strong you are, your resiliency, your morals, and how you do like have that ancient old code that you live to, that cowboy code. They like that and they want to be with that, but they don't want to do the work. And I'm seeing that as like immaturity with this reverse. Like they just want to be seen with you. They want to be around you because you have that like old cowboy code to you that you stick to it. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, walking on the fighting side of me, running down a way of life our fighting men have fought and died to keep. If you don't love it, leave it. Let this song I'm singing be a warning. When you're running down my country, man, you're walking on the fighting side of me. And this is like, you know, that cowboy code of like understanding who the real villain is. You know, like those you know, stories of like Billy the Kid and stuff, like those guys, they would rob trains. So they'd stop trains and rob them. And if you had calloused hands or you were a woman, they wouldn't take your money. They would only take like the bankers, you know, the guys that were, you know, not being so savory either. There was still that code. And you're being asked to use your cowboy code, your intuition, your inner knowing, that unswaying strength you have within yourself to stand for what you believe in, and see who the true villains are. Not just, oh, well, your political beliefs are this, your religious beliefs are that, you know, whatever. Those are so superficial. Like, you're being asked to bring this out and lead by example of who the real villains are, and bringing that respect to people that can get easily triggered and, you know, still fall prey to the whole Democrat, Republican, you know, whatever they call it, you know, all of these different things. They're still falling prey to those religious beliefs and all of that, where they're allowing it to separate us. They're allowing it to, you know, cause strife between the people that need to come together. And you're being asked to lead by example and show that it's not that. The true villains are the controlling overlords that are trying to, you know, pin us up against each other. And so by being in that cowboy energy, that unswaying ancient code that you live by, you don't allow those attempts at being an overlord, attempts at powers that are trying to control. You don't allow that to affect you. And so you live by that and guide others by living it and breathing it, eating, shitting it, sleeping it, all of those. You're emanating that. And so people need to see that. You're meant to lead people to that code by staying true through it all, through the storm, you know, still flipping your collar up on your duster and putting your gloves on and letting your little blue healer sit on your lap while you ride, because the dog's cold. You're like, come on, warm me up. While you move cattle. Yeah, it sucks because you got to do the job. The storm is horrible. It has to be done. So, you know, because the field was, you know, over, like, there's no grass, you know, whatever. You got to move them closer to the house, you know, for calving and, you know, all that stuff. You know, I'm just giving examples of, like, you're like, why is a cowboy doing that? Why wouldn't they choose another day? Wow, okay. So this one's called Take Care of Your Friends. Let's see your little... Friend is a word that I don't throw around. Though it's used and abused, I still like the sound. I save it for people who've done me right by me, and I know I can count on if I ever need be. What was I saying? Like, you know, you might have to step away from these people that just ain't it anymore. They're choosing not to do the work. They want to cling to you, but there's conflict with it because you can't be yourself. You can't, they're still buying into the bullshit. And they're trying to control you, or, you know, you can't be your authentic, high vibrating self around them. Some of my friends drive big limousines, own ranches and banks, and visit with queens. And some of my friends up to their neck in overdue notes and can't write a check. They're singers or ropers or writers or of prose. And others, God bless them, can't blow their own nose. I guess being friends don't have nothing to do with talent or money or knowing who's who. So, like, as I was saying, like, sticking to that code and knowing who the true villain is. It's not, oh, this person believes in this, or this person has this much money, this type of stuff. Seeing true to their soul, seeing their divinity. It's a comfortable feeling when you don't have to care about choosing your words or being quite fair. Bitch, what the fuck did I say? Because friends will just listen and let it go on by. Those words you don't mean and not bat an eye. yo, what the fuck did I say? You're having to change. These people can't handle you being in your authentic self. So they manipulate and act out and all of this other shit. So you have to change. And then there's this conflict because then you can't be yourself. Choosing the people that are of you, you know, and it doesn't matter like what they look like, who they are. It's who your true soul family is, how you're connected. Thank you, Spirit, for guiding me to this book. How perfect. And then the page number is 122, so 122. It makes a friend happy to see your success. They're proud of your good side and forgive all the rest. And that ain't so easy all the time. Sometimes I get crazy and seem to go blind. Your friends just might have to take you on home or remind you sometimes that you're not alone. Or ever so gently pull you back to the ground when you think you can fly with no one around. A hug or a shake, whichever seems right, is the high point of giving, I'll tell you tonight. All worldly riches and tributes of men can't hold a candle to the worth of a friend. So that's knowing who your community is and knowing who the true villains are. It's not because, you know, let's say like you're a Republican and this other person is a Democrat. It's not that person. It's yes, you have different beliefs. There can be some common ground found. You're both on the same side, whether you realize it or not. Yes, it's different beliefs, but there needs to be, you have to live in this cowboy code to show what the true moral is, what the true line is that you have to walk. And that is not letting the overlords, the manipulators, the media, all that bullshit, all this manipulating bullshit, falling prey to all of that, the fear mongers, and, you know, living your own code, staying, you know, cowboys are pretty old school, like even the new ones. So staying true to that and not letting all of this shit control you. And by doing that, that is showing your friends, these other people that aren't the enemy, but it's like this false cloak and, you know, brainwashing that has been put upon us. And like you're meant to show what that is and expose it by living true to your code. It's not, you know, someone rich, someone poor, someone whatever, you know, whatever it is. It's not that. It's the enemy. You know, the darkness, the controlling, fear-mongering, brainwashing, that type of shit. The whatever, you know, whatever media, however it's put out there for us, that's who the real enemy is, not your fellow human. It's not that. And you're meant to show that by, yes, this person may, and that might be coming up against the people that are just spreading this fear and, you know, standing strong and be like, really, we're gonna do this? I don't, you know, and expressing your opinion in a non-inflammatory way, of course, you know, taking the high ground, but also not allowing a motherfucker to push into you. And people don't see, here we have with the Four of Cups and the 10 of Wands in reverse. People don't see that they're not doing the work. They're not staying true on this path of like needing to, when the storm gets bad or anything, you know, the fear mongering gets even worse. People aren't seeing that they're not doing the work through that. They're still not doing their chores. You know, you got your cattle need water, but it's -34 in the morning. you gotta go break ice. And that shit's fucking 7 inches thick. So you gotta take your little axe out there and break up all the ice in the stock tank. So they're not seeing that they're not doing the shitty work in the mornings, you know, or whenever, when their chores are due. They're not seeing that. And by you staying true, right, walking the line, even through the worst times, still doing your chores, that is showing them where they're missing out, where they're not doing the work. And because they're not seeing it, they're folding when shit gets hard. So, and then, you know, because there's all this like fear mongering, oh, this storm's coming, this, do that, blah, blah, blah. It's just juicing it up because you don't really know what's actually happening. There's a different energetic signature to these storms and to what all this crazy shit that's happening. But they're using it to cloud your judgment, your clarity, so you don't actually see why this is actually happening. What's happening is we're clearing things out, you know, just as forest fires are necessary, because if you get like a ton of like pine needles on the ground and, you know, there's all this dead overgrowth that needs to be burned up. It's necessary. And the media and like all of this is using it to spread fear and, you know, keep you small, keep you controlled. And, you know, we have the Six of Pentacles here, you know, being a friend, helping and guiding others, encouraging, motivating others through these shitty times, because you know how to walk the line. You know how to put your collar up, cover your face, and be in that awful freezing cold up on your horse, you know, pushing cattle to the next pasture. Or getting them closer to the house so you can keep an eye on while they're calving. Because like usually that's like springtime, and you know how turbulent springtime can be. Well, at least, you know, in the Southwest United States, you know, you can get like a random snowstorm in May. You know, it's just that stuff happens. So it's necessary to move the cattle and stuff like that. Since you can walk the line, push through, you know when to just grit your teeth and just keep doing it and just be like, this fucking sucks. But I gotta get this chore done. I gotta do it. I still gotta do the work. I still gotta stay true to my path, to my code. This is when you give people a leg up. This is when you motivate them through this, because you know how to do it. You're meant to be this leader of being like, yeah, this shit fucking sucks. I ain't gonna lie to you. It sucks. But we gotta push through this. Don't fall prey to that bullshit. Don't fall prey to the fear, all of that. Don't. Catch yourself. It's all a bunch of lies. Anytime there's fear involved, it's a lie. It's the enemy. So, you know, that's you giving a leg up, helping out with that Six of Pentacles. Like how I hate to say it, like I'm not saying you're above, no one's ever above anybody, but when you're just in a higher vibration, you can kind of give a little coin to somebody to be like, come on, you can do it. Like, let's get through this. We are meant to do this together. Yes, this sucks. I totally know where you're at. I've been there. I have a little extra high vibration to give you, and I'll juice you up. I love that. Thank you, Baxter Black and friends. Anything else? Oh yeah. Oh. Aww. There was a little frog. So I have the rotating computer background screen just of like whatever Apple like gives you. And there was a frog. So, and they're my favorite. If you don't know, if you haven't followed this channel very long, they're my favorite little froggies. I love them so much. They're so cute. You're being asked to take leaps of faith. So by reaching out to others, like maybe it's somebody like you're like, oh my God, this person's in such a low ass vibe. I don't want to be like, you can just see it, smell it, feel it. You know, you're being asked to take leaps of faith to like juice them up, because they're truly not the enemy. They're not. And you'll know which ones are for you and which ones aren't. And yeah, someone might be on demon time, but you staying true to the path and showing how to push through even the darkest, shittiest times. Like maybe, you know, during calving season, you got to wake up in the middle of the night and go check cattle to make sure that they're, you know, one of the cows isn't like swinging around a dead calf out of her vagina. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to go throw a chain on it and pull it out, you know, that type of stuff. Seeing those little legs popping out. So, you know, there's all that work that needs to be done. You're tired. It's a shitty season. You know, there's turbulent weather, but you stay true. You know the chores you got to do. Yeah. And we have the strength in reverse here. So whenever someone isn't, it could be you, or, you know, that's leaning on your friends, leaning on your community. Maybe you're not feeling, I'm seeing this trick roper as like, someone that like you're usually good at something, or you're like, you can handle something, but you're just not, it's not happening this time. Like I'm seeing that, like, you know, a trick roper doing a show at a rodeo, and she's like really off that day, and she's like not, her tricks or, you know, acrobatics, all the shit that she's trying to show off and do just isn't happening. It's an awful day, but the crowd is still cheering her on. They're like, yeah, come on, we're not judging, we're not, you know, and just juicing her up. And like, even though she feels like shit, like that, reaching out to people, are you asking for that, or coming out for that, to be like, I'm really sucking at life right now. I feel it. I need somebody to juice me up. I'm feeling insecure. I'm not feeling very strong. Reaching to your community. There's that sharing. I need somebody come juice me up, please. I don't have it in me right now. Even if you are the leader and you're usually the one that can show people how to flip your, you know, do what you need to do to get your chores done, even in the shittiest storms. Sometimes you got to call a neighbor and be like, hey, I really need your help. My fence went down, you know, some asshole driving by wrecked into my fence and then didn't tell me, and now I've got a whole fence down and all my cattle's out on the highway. Can you come help me get them back in? And we gotta just get this done real quick so I don't lose any more head. And so that's like, you know, you're in a shitty situation. I need help. I need somebody to just juice me up. And that could just be a deep depression, or like genuinely like you see a bigger group of people and you know that this other person has that ability to juice people up just like you. That's, you be like, hey, let's go in on together and like go joke around and like raise the vibration here to get them through this. Those type of things. Getting with your community and giving each other strength in those times. Interesting. And when, you know, the enemy is very high in, you know, fear mongering and all that shit, this is the jackalope card. I'm seeing this as like the wild card, like, and especially with the sun after that, using your humor, but your ability to, I'm seeing it as like, I do this a lot, is like, I use my humor sometimes to call people out and to keep it in a light energy, but also like the person will walk away and I know that they're thinking about it. And they're like, oh, hold on, what was that? Like using that wild card energy to highlight, for one, to shift the energy, but also shine a spotlight on what the problem is. You know, bringing that happiness, that joy, that like, woo, bring that wild card energy of like, see how the jackalope, It's, you know, the it's a horned rabbit. It's a like using that duality of like saying the truth but saying it in a joking way to keep it light, but it also helps shift the dynamic, using the different parts of yourself to highlight what the problem is, where the enemy is trying to hide. You know, using your light can shine and expose the darkness, and you know what's hiding in the shadows. You can use that. Oh yeah, and help people stay in then that like curious forever student energy, because you know, by using that lightness, that joy, that higher vibrating mystical duality part of yourself, that's gonna help people kind of stay in that more childlike curious energy of like, oh, maybe I don't know what all is happening in this world. Maybe I don't know everything that's happening between us. You know, it could be smaller to larger scales. And once again, there's a lantern, or a whatever you want to call it, lantern, that's shining light on like where people still have like this immaturity, or I'm seeing more of just needing to learn things. So I'm also getting like the throat chakra stuff from that. So like maybe you kind of overthink when you need to bring this stuff to the surface, expose this. And you know you want to say it. You know you could easily call somebody out, and like doing it in a lighthearted way that helps them grow, but also like keeps everything like high vibe. That might be, and see how he's like dressed all in blue. Don't be afraid to bring this shit up. You know, live chaotically, live by your cowboy code, live by that. You know, maybe you have a fear of like being ostracized because now you have a friend or something, but you have to be able to like still live by your code, even if it feels like that fear of like, oh, I don't know if I want to say this, I don't know if I want to whatever. Be in that chaos. Be in that, like, you know what, I'm still an outlaw, and I don't answer to anybody. Even if you are my friend, if you don't like the poetry that I just read, if they're a true friend, they'll know where you're coming from. If they're open to growth, if they're open and curious about growth, they'll understand where you're coming from. And you will have an opportunity, if you were just straight up out of line, you'll have an opportunity to fix that and apologize and, you know, swallow your pride. Because that's part of your code, taking responsibility. And that's going to lead to, by your willingness to express things, take responsibility, swallowing your pride, even when you call somebody out and you're like, ooh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But you need to learn to speak your truth no matter what, and be vulnerable with people and with your community and all of that. And that's going to bring you abundance, because you're living in your truth. You are always rewarded when you live in your truth, speaking the truth, taking responsibility, apologizing. Yeah, I fucked up. I was a real piece of shit. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I hope you can forgive me, and what can I do to make it up to you? You know, that could be like, cowboy example, maybe, I mean, this would be like the worst case, but like maybe your neighbor accidentally hit one of your cattle that was on the road. Like they didn't see it and they killed one of your cows. That would be something you'd have to be like, I did an awful thing. Let me fix this. Let me give you the money, whatever you want, whatever you need. I am so sorry. What can I do to fix this? And being like, I totally fucked up. I'll get my tractor and go get it off the road, and I'll go, you know, some people like have like a pit where they put him, you know, I don't know. I'll go bury it for you, you know, whatever. Sorry, I'm so sorry. just taking responsibility for your mistakes. And I have 4444 on the clock, like, and that you're going to be protected whenever you do this. And your true friends, you'll know who your true friends are, because they'll be like, oh, I get you, and thank you so much for apologizing, because people are going to respect you more when you bring that. Be like, I totally fucked her. I fucked her, bud. I'm so sorry. Like, my bad. I ruined that. I am so sorry. Let me make it up to you. Standing on business, that's going to bring you this abundance. Your group, your family, your spouse, the house, all of these things, you're going to be rewarded by living to this code. Staying true, walking the line through the worst storms. And that might be swallowing your pride. And don't walk on the fight inside of me, damn it. White House Road by Tyler Childress and Fight Inside of Me by Merle Haggard. For some reason I felt called to do that, so maybe someone was asking. I like these cowboy readings. They're nice. Anything else? Also, once again, thank you so much for all your donations. I keep buying decks. Both of these decks I just recently bought this week. So I thank you so much for all your donations, just showing up, watching the videos, sharing it, liking, subscribing, doing all that shenanigans. That totally helps me. And I keep buying more decks, and you know, we just keep hanging out. And thank you for doing the work. Thank you for being here. Grandmother Moon cycles. So this is showing staying true cowboy through all of these cycles, and understanding the shitty stuff, the crazy fear mongering, all this shenanigans. It always passes. It's got to be exposed, and it's just part of staying true through these cycles. I'm seeing it, you know, as like someone can't stay pregnant forever, you know. Something has to happen. Something has to come through. Just as like, you know, if someone has like morning sickness or something, it's going to pass. It's not always going to be there. Summer, activation. I see the summertime as like a time for whenever... God damn it, why do I get these? Like, you know, when you're... You know, it's time to be a hoe. Like, it's time to put yourself out there. It's time to be outside. This just because this always happens to me, because everybody's driving with their windows down. You know, someone at a stoplight is like, what's up, shorty? Like, what's up, girl? Like, you know, everybody like flirting with each other, like saying what's up. Like, there's just that energy, that like interacting with each other because you're feeling good from like the good weather and all of that. I'm seeing that as like bringing the light and that summer quality activation to others throughout all the seasons, still being that beaming, beautiful summer sun through the darkest winters. And we have bravery, bear. So that's that bravery of like saying what you need to say, apologizing when you need to apologize, swallowing your pride when you need to, and standing up for what you believe in, even when it's just you alone. Standing up through it all, willing to just stick out like a sore thumb, willing to do whatever you need, be ostracized, be kicked out of that town. Okay, I don't want this shitty ass family anyway. I don't like your attitude. I don't like you manipulating me and trying to cling to me and try to be seen with me. You're just trying to use me for clout. I don't fuck with that. Standing true to that and saying it. Be like, I don't like this. This ain't it. I know my crew, my true family, and they're going to show up for me. Interesting. Number 10, all my relations, interconnectedness. Knowing who your crew is. Wow, I like that came up. Yeah, knowing who... Interesting, because there's a bear and an eagle there. So seeing things from a higher perspective, but also staying grounded and strong. You know, bears are associated with bravery, you know, strength, groundedness, protection. So protecting the people that you know, because you can use your eagle eye to see through and see who people are. You can use your intuition, but also staying grounded. And I'm seeing that as like your crown chakra and your root chakra, really aligning with that, grounding your all right, the bird has some shit to say. You know, grounding your feet, but also being able to connect with the higher source, you know, the universe, most high. And we have water, affirmation. I'm just seeing those lightning bolts and like, ooh, shit, never mind. The storm, teaching people how to work through these storms and what is truly about it. And see how there's like an eclipse happening on there too. Like those crazy, scary, because think back in the day when people didn't really know what eclipses were, and then all of a sudden the fucking light's gone. Think how scary eclipses were. They're still like give an eerie, I love the feeling of it, honestly, but they give like an eerie feeling when the true like eclipse happens, and you're just like in this like weird, like there's no sun, the temperature drops, it's funky, like it's a weird feeling. So think about the people that don't know what's actually happening energetically. Express to them, help them through these storms, these anomalies, these crazy shits that's happening. All right, what does the bird have to say? Say it with your chest, bird. What do you have to say, bird? Whoa. Okay, very interesting. So we have the King of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Cups in reverse. If you're in a relationship and you know y'all ain't good for each other, you need to get out. And have the balls to fucking do it. Say it. Stick to your code. You can still involving yourself with these shitty karmic people. It could be friends, relationship, family, whatever. You're not sticking to your code. You're not feeding yourself. And see how that dog is on the card? I'm seeing that as like, you're not being loyal to who you truly are. You're not being loyal to your higher self, to yourself. You may be loyal to this person, but they ain't good for you and you fucking know it. Or friends, whatever it is. It's false loyalty. You're not truly sticking to your code. You're not being loyal to yourself. And that's who you really need to be loyal to. You're all that you got. At the end of the day, you're all that you got. People have free will. They can change on a dime. They can choose a karmic ass path. They can choose a shitty path. You're all that you got. And you need to be loyal to yourself and give yourself the life you deserve. And going into wish fulfillment versus overindulgence. And I'm seeing this card because there's like a lot of sensuality to it, and like there's like a picture of a naked lady, the painting in the background, and the dude's like all smug and kind of drunk. Making sure that you're not staying in these connections for superficial reasons, like they're hot, they look cool, or they've got like money, or they're associated, like it. Making sure that there's not an underlying reason on your part as well. You can see this person for who the fuck they are exactly, but there's something that's keeping you loyal to them, that it's holding you in this karmic, not high vibration energy. And that needs to be looked at. Why are you still holding on to them with this death card in reverse? You're not letting it die off like it needs to. Interesting. Oh shit, we have truth here, turtle. This is being truthful with yourself. Why do I still talk to this person? Why do I still interact with this person? In what way am I being karmic in this? Am I being superficial? Does this person make me look good? Am I sticking to my cowboy code? Am I in fear of being alone, being ostracized out of the town because I want to protect myself? Is that a fear? Am I changing myself just for this? Am I not sticking to this? Question those things and be willing to hear the truth from yourself. All right, babies, that was a fun one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, bye.